Hi guys, welcome to Learn Electronics Repair. I have a, Sakyo P2000.5 5-channel MOSFET power amplifier. So this is audio amplifier, 2800 watts it says, max power, okay. So the problem with this, as it says on this bit of card, if you just get the thing so you can see it because of the reflection, it says salida jack white cross, okay. So that's like exit in Spanish, and the jack, which is the one in the picture, means this, and I can actually waggle this around. These seem solid. That one's loose, okay. I would say that was more of an entrada than a salida, yeah. If you do a bit of Spanish, it's more of an entrance to me. But anyway, that's what's wrong with it. So the question with this is it just a broken connection on the PCB? Is the connector faulty? Do I have a suitable replacement? And can I actually get at the thing to repair it? Yeah, easily. I'm sure I can get at it, but how easy to do so? So we need to open this up and let's see what we're faced with this time. Okay, so just looking at this. This is a power supply, okay. This is a power supply. These look like amplifiers. I think we actually have effectively one amplifier for like the front right, front left, whichever we'll do in, rear right, rear left, and then another one acting as a bridge for the sub. That seems fairly obvious. So this will take the 12-volt supply, it will boost it up, and we can say that for two good reasons if you don't want to see how this works. So these capacitors here, 4735 volts. So I'm pretty confident this will probably have something like a plus or minus 30 supply rail. You need the higher voltage to get wattage out of the speaker. So basically the wattage of the speaker, or what wattage you get out of the speaker, will depend on the supply voltages, plus and minus. The higher the voltage, the more current you can get through because of the ohms of the speaker stays the same. Obviously a lower impedance speaker, you can get more current through as well. And the other thing which would determine that is whether the speaker is being driven single-ended. So one end of the speaker connects to ground, and then the other end you can effectively drive between, say, plus 30 and minus 30, for example. Or whether it's in the bridge, so you drive both ends of the speaker at the same time. So you can drive one end to, say, plus 30, the other end to minus 30 at the same time. And from that, we could calculate from the supply rails, and we got one bridge and 4 amplifiers, what wattage this thing is likely to be. Another way, without doing that math, I'm sure somebody's going to get down there and suggest what it is. But we have 2 fuses on here. So the 2 fuses are 30 amp times 2. Okay, so that's 60 amps total, maximum at 12 volts. Yeah, well, if it was 10 volts, it'd be 600 watts roughly. This thing can actually draw. So how you get 2,800 watts out of that? Well, that's the Chinese, I think. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, that's just a quick look around so you can see how this actually works. Another good indication of that, by the way, is this chip. So TL494, exactly what you would find in an ATX power supply. So that will be driving these transformers and stepping the voltage up. Basically like a switch mode power supply, but more a sort of DC to DC converter, yeah? Now then, this thing. So the one that is a problem is that one. It looks like the plastic itself is kind of giving it up somewhat. I mean, these connections we can see here, these are effectively the audio inputs, and then the other connections will be a ground, a common ground on this. I need to get this PCB out and then let's have a look to see what's happened to it. Okay, so this is the connector. I think what I'll do is actually unsolder this completely and then have a look to see if it's damaged, see what the problem is. I'm just looking at the actual soldering. It may actually just be that these are actually bad. Just looking at that now, can you see it? Yeah, in fact, the fact that they're all moving, this one's bad as well. This actually probably, I will unsolder it also. I'm going to take all the solder off, all this old solder. I'm going to take this out, have a look at it, then put it back in and put all fresh solder. I could just go around these with a soldering iron, but I think I'd rather have a good look at it first. Guys, comment. I've used solder braid on this one. Not too much of it here. And that's basically got the whole thing unsoldered. So, some centimetres of solder braid used. But obviously, cost of materials goes into the cost of repair. This is mostly free. It's still not quite. One or two of these are still stuck. If it doesn't come easily now, I'll actually remove the remainder of the solder with the vacuum tool. Okay guys, it is off. Yeah, a little bit of a fiddle, that one. There was a couple of extra connections I hadn't actually unsoldered, so my fault really. Yeah, but it's off. There's a lot of solder on this. This is how it was. So I'm going to clean this up. Don't like it much. Has this been repaired before? What do you think? This. Yeah, that's a previous repair. Somebody's fixed this before. You see that's fell off now. Okay, I'm going to leave the other ones on there. I can see what they are. This is also a previous repair. This has been fixed more than once. Let me see if I have another one of these. Well, I don't feel quite so bad now that that kind of fell apart somewhat when I took it out the PCB, because somebody's obviously already been here. I won't say that was all they're doing, but yeah. This bit can, well, I can just fold back over there. I think we can get into the right place. Let's see. Pair of tweezers. No, I can probably do that with my finger. Just push it back. Okay. So that's that one. This one's also kind of inside there. Let's see if we can do something with that one. Yeah. Well, it's better than it was. This one isn't good at all, but we can fix that. I mean, it solders to this. You can see there, that's where it actually goes to, is this leg, so we can deal with that. The rest are not too bad. Okay, right. You see, this is seriously being repaired previously, yeah. I do have things like these which get salvaged off stuff, but I have nothing that would actually replace that one. I could buy one, I'm sure. So I think we should repair this again, and this time I think we'll glue it down. They might have actually tried that as well before. Can you see it looks a bit sticky, but that could just well be flux. Okay, so I need to bend this one up. Those are actually mainly okay. I think we can get them back into the board. Let's do this one. Okay, I'm going to solder this back in. It looked like we did have some bad connections, soldered joints. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to order some panel mounting RCA sockets. Something like these, okay? I have some cables, I have some little plugs and sockets. I could probably effectively modify this if it goes wrong again. And these are not expensive, just to order a pack of 10 of these, okay? So these would fit in the back panel, and I need to attach that to the PCB. And the easiest way to do that, I would say, would to be use something like these. These are like multi-way plugs and sockets. I can effectively get some wires into the PCB, just fairly short, so I have a plug on one end and a socket on the other end, and then I can effectively fit the socket onto the panel mounting ones, and then I can actually effectively put it together and just plug it on when the PCB is in place, and that would be a more permanent fix. So I'm going to fix this for now. Let's see how we go, and I'll say to the customer, look, if this fails again, I need a more permanent fix, okay, which will cost more obviously, but let's try this. Yeah, that's come clean now. So they haven't glued the connector down. I think I will actually put a bit of glue under this. It also mounts to the back panel with the screws as well, but I'm expecting what's happened is it's kind of been vibrating against the PCB, which is why effectively those solder joints gave up. Okay. It doesn't solder to anything on this side of the board. I can clearly see that it actually solders to these various resistors here, 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 here. Okay, here, as they say. Okay, so we can see what they solder to, so that isn't really going to be a problem to get the connections there. Okay, these two, well, they go off over that way, so we don't have to worry too much about them. Okay, let's get a bit of glue. Let's put this in and then let's solder it back into place. I can test these now. So I have a phono plug here with some leads on. Okay. So all the grounds on these all connect together, the top ones. And to the bottom ones. I just go down here. Yeah. So all the grounds all connect together. So that's the blue wire here. So this should go. Yeah. Well, obviously they connect together, so that's fine, yeah. And then this is the end of the connector, so let's see. Goes to there. Yeah, and so on. So if we test on the PCB, we'll know if we have a good connection, okay? So that one goes to there. Is this one? Yes. That's this one. That's this one. And that's that one. Okay, and the other one to here. So they're all connecting okay. Ground well. Yeah, so we at least have good connections now. I'm gonna get some epoxy down here just to help to hold that in place, probably at the back as well. Okay, just before I do glue it, let's make sure this fits into the unit. Okay, yeah, that fits just fine. Okay, so this is all back together. This is nice and solid now, doesn't move. I think the aldite or epoxy resin will help a lot with that one. I will tell the customer if this fails again, I really need to replace this and fit some panel mounting ones or something like that. Okay, another idea would be to have some like leads coming out, short leads with sockets on, but for now that's fine. It tests all okay, so I'm happy to give this one back and let's see how it goes. Okay guys, so an epilogue to this one. I'm at home now. I just edited the video and I got a message from the guy who brought me this one in. So this actually came in from another business. It wasn't the actual end user, and the problem the customer was having was apparently the sound was on for a second or two and then went quiet or off. I don't know if that's on all speakers or just one speaker. That's all the information I have. But anyway, the repair didn't make any difference, so it's still doing the same thing. Now, I was asked to fix this particular repair, and I fixed the repair. I did what I was asked to do. The repair was €45. The guy questioned that a little bit, said why so expensive. But I pointed out the previous damage. I said, look, watch this video, you'll see what was involved. This wasn't just a simple soldering job. And I did the job. Yeah, the thing's solid. Now you can see the test meter said it was fine. So the situation now really is that I've actually done the repair I was asked to do, but it made no difference. I would say, fair enough. You get paid to do what you've been asked to do. So I've said I'll have another look at it, but at the end of the day, it's a different job. Yeah, I'll have to see why it's doing that, because I didn't diagnose a fault in the first place. Okay, guys, so just thought I'd let you know what was happening with this one. Get down in the comments below there. I look forward to seeing you all soon again on Wayne Electronics Repair. Ciao for now, guys.